Hey everyone, my name's Jade and welcome to my channel. I'm actually really nervous to do this video. I wasn't actually going to film this video today. I was going to film what I eat in a day video and that changed. So today's video I'm actually going to be talking about premenstrual dysphoric disorder. So for those of you who don't know, premenstrual dysphoric disorder is, sorry, I can't even, having a bit of a rough day. So for those of you who don't know, 3 to 8% of women suffer with premenstrual dysphoric disorder, which is a disorder that affects the serotonin levels in your brain, and it can cause extreme PMS symptoms. So basically what that means, I'm sorry, I can't, this is what happens when I have these. Bloody hell. So, bloody hell. For those of you who don't know, premenstrual dysphoric disorder affects 3 to 8% of women and causes extreme PMS symptoms. So this is why people get, I get a bit upset if people tell me that I've got PMS. Basically what it is it affects the serotonin levels in your brain due to the hormone imbalances. I mean, if you think about it, women's bodies go through a lot every month, and it can have more an effect on your brain than some other people. For myself, it causes extreme fatigue. I have had times where I thought I was sick, but I've called in sick to work, but it's just caused me to be so fatigued that I haven't been able to get out of bed. So fatigue is a huge thing that causes me to just not be able to function like I normally function. As you can probably tell, I'm very tired right now. It can cause forgetfulness, which I get a lot. Now usually I'm not a forgetful person because I do get extreme anxiety as well, so I make sure I have everything all the time, but I get extreme forgetfulness with this. Like, I'll just completely forget something like 3 or 4 times. I'll go back to, I'll come back home to grab something that I forgot and I'll leave without it, and that will happen multiple times. So that's really tough. It can cause extreme depression, so you can become extremely depressed, you can become extremely anxious, you can become disinterested in things you normally do, it can cause weight gain, it can cause self-image issues. It's just basically a really rough time. And so normally what happens for me, I have a 5-week cycle. So I have 2 or 3 weeks where I feel normal and I'm really happy and I'm excited to do things and I'm just go, and then it just hits. And it hits, and for about 2 weeks I don't function properly. I can't do what I want to do. I can't think properly. I'm just not my normal self. And I woke up this morning and I could feel it coming on the last couple of days. I know when it's sort of happening now. I've become a lot more aware of it. And I could feel it coming on, and I was like, oh, I've just got to try and push out these last couple of things I know I've got to do, because I know as soon as it hits that's it, I'm just down and out. And I woke up this morning and I didn't want to go to gym. I didn't want to get out of bed. I have an assignment due on Friday, they haven't started, and I don't care. I don't care today, and I will probably feel this way for another 2 weeks, where I just sort of, all I focus on is just getting through the day, because I physically and mentally can't deal with what's going on. And that's really, really hard. I have, you know, I do suffer from extreme anxiety, extreme obsessive compulsive disorder, and both of those I have done really well with. And I'm sorry, I can't think right now. I've done really well with, and you know, they've become a lot better. They're still there, and I personally don't think they'll ever go away, but they're so much better than they were, and I'm really proud of myself. And I've been extremely depressed before, and that at the moment is gone, and I know what I can do to sort of help that. But premenstrual dysphoric disorder can't be treated, in my experience, the same way as regular mental health, which makes it really tough. And I know that, you know, if my anxiety is really bad or my OCD is really bad, I know I saw a psychiatrist once, and it really helped me. She said, your anxiety is like a hill. You can feel yourself getting up the top, but you can't stay at the top forever. Your body physically cannot stay at the top forever, and your anxiety is going to come back down, and that's really helpful. But with premenstrual dysphoric disorder, it's 2 weeks of feeling like this, and I know that, and that's really, really hard. And I know, and I know that every month for at least 2 weeks, I'm gonna struggle. And I do all the things, you know, there are things you can do to help, like diet and exercise, which I'm doing, medication, you know, therapies, all that sort of thing, but it's not something that can really go away. And when you're in that space, it's, you know, I know that I'm feeling down, and I'm feeling disinterested, and I'm tired, and I can't think, and I know that's because of my premenstrual dysphoric disorder. That's really long. I'm gonna have to figure out an acronym with this video. But at the same time, like, you're sitting there and you're like, you know, the reason I'm feeling this way is because of this. You know, you'll be fine, you can get through it, but there's a chemical imbalance in your brain. Like most mental health disorders, there's a chemical imbalance in your brain, and you can't just fix that. You can do what you can, but I feel like, especially with this disorder, it's just, it comes around every month, and I think that's the hardest thing. After 2 weeks, when it sort of settles down and I go back to normal, I'm really up, and I'm like, no, it's fine, like next month I'll know how to deal with it, it'll be better, blah blah blah, and that just, it doesn't help. And I think premenstrual dysphoric disorder is, you know, when you research it, it's not well researched from what I can see. They don't really know, they don't have a lot of information on what causes it, they don't have a lot of information on the treatment you can do, and I think there's just not a lot of people know about it. I didn't get diagnosed until I was 25, I think. A psychologist said he thought I had it, and I saw my GP, and she diagnosed me with it, but it's not out there, people don't know about it, but a lot of women suffer with this, and it's really hard when people say to you, oh, you've just got PMS. I don't just have PMS, I physically and mentally am not capable right now of doing what I usually do, and that's really, really hard. And I think as well, you know, you don't have a choice, you have to do what you need to do, you have to go to work, you have to look after yourself. You know, you've got people that rely on you, you don't have a choice, you have to go and do that. And a lot of people with any mental illness are high functioning, but just because you see someone and they get up and they go to work and they can physically look after themselves does not make them okay. And I actually didn't want to make any mental health videos right now because I didn't feel ready to put that on the internet, but I think it's really important for the mental health discussion to get stronger and to make it less of a stigma and just make people know that they're not alone and that they can get help, and it's okay not to feel okay, and you'll get through it. And if you feel like you aren't okay, please reach out, speak to someone, speak to family, speak to friends, speak to your doctor. Just find someone to talk to, because I think mental health is so important. And you know, on this channel so far it's all been about physical health, but our brain can do amazing things, and I just think our brain is fascinating. But people don't accept the fact that our brains can be sick, just the same as every other organ in our body can be sick. And I just felt like I wanted to come on today just to say you're not alone. Reach out for help if you need it. I don't think there's enough information about premenstrual dysphoric disorder and the effects it can have on you, and people aren't aware that it can be extreme. It's not easy, and yeah, I don't even know how to finish this video. I didn't really have any talking points for this video. I sort of just jumped on and was like, just do whatever, and because I'm not thinking straight right now and I can't remember anything, I'm having a bit of a rough time. Yeah, that's bloody hell. That's all I've got right now, guys. But yeah, I do think this mental health discussion is extremely important, and I will be putting more videos up. I'm not fully comfortable at the moment going into detail on my mental health issues in the past because that's a little bit hard, and I still don't know how I feel about putting that on the internet. But yeah, I just wanted to pop on to say, if you don't feel well, please let people know, and yeah, do research, look after yourself, and always ask people if they're okay. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.